Everybody, it's Christopher Small from CMS Law Firm, and I'm excited to be here to talk to you today about whether a non-citizen, non-resident can be the guardian of your kids. Before we get there, I want to remind you that if you have a question like this or any other question related to estate planning or probate, really for that matter, you can go to estatemeeting.com and set up a time to talk with me for free. So estatemeeting.com, go talk to me. But today we're here to talk about guardians, non-citizen, non-resident nominations. I had a client in the office today and we were discussing this. She is from Russia and her family, most of her family lives there still. She is in the process of creating her estate plan and was curious about if there were any downsides to appointing a long-term guardian that is not a citizen of this country or living in this country. And what I told her was this, and this is what I'm telling you too. So basically, there is no restriction on who you can name to be the guardian of your kids, okay? You can name anybody that you want. And if you name them in your will, which is why the will is so important, if you have kids that are under 18, if you name them in your will, then those people that you name are the presumptive guardians, okay? Which means it's going to be relatively difficult, if not very, very difficult, for a judge to decline to appoint the people that you have decided are the best people to raise your children. But that doesn't mean that it's always going to be easy, so there are a couple of things to think about if you are appointing non-resident, non-citizen guardians for your kids. The first thing to consider is whether or not the person that you've appointed is even going to be able to get into the States to sort of take care of the process of being formally appointed the guardian of your kids. Some countries, the United States makes it very difficult for them to get here, or makes it very difficult for them to stay here very long, and or makes it very difficult for them to visit here numerous times in one sort of time period. So you really want to think about that, look at that. I honestly couldn't answer that question for you. I probably would talk to an immigration attorney. Google can probably tell you a little bit of information. If you come into my office, I can help you with that. I can find someone that can answer those questions for us. But that's probably the first question that you're going to want to answer. The second thing that you're going to want to consider is if you want your child to be raised in this other place. And whether you do or not is really none of my concern. I really don't care, but I want to make sure that you think about that and you consider that as you make these decisions, okay? Another thing to consider as well is going to be if you're going to leave behind substantial United States assets, you may consider or may sort of be inclined to leave them in a United States trust and have them paid out, even if they're paid overseas to a person. You're going to want to make sure that that's going to work properly, that you're not going to sort of run into some crazy tax problems. You're not going to run into some compliance issues with the United States and maybe that other country. So just some things to think about as you make these choices. At the end of the day, you're going to want to choose the person that's the best fit to raise your child, because they are basically going to be stepping in to fill your role as a parent. And that's not something that we really, really want to think about. It's a critically important decision because things happen all the time that cut our lives short. So I wish it wasn't that way, but it just is. So that's it. So a couple things to think about to sort of recap real quick. Before that though, if you have questions about this or any other estate planning matter, please go to estatemeeting.com and set up a time to talk with me. It'll be fun. And I guarantee you when you leave, you'll have pretty much, if not all of your questions answered related to your estate planning goals and needs and wants and questions. All right, now to recap, the person that you name in your will as the guardian is going to be the presumed guardian, okay? It means the court's going to have to work really hard to not appoint the person that you have nominated. And if they're in the States, it's pretty much a given, so I don't want to scare all you people that are nominating your guardians that live here in the United States. We're talking about foreign, non-citizen, non-resident guardians, okay? Number two, an important consideration is whether or not you are comfortable with them living out of the country. And then number 3, you're gonna just wanna think about how the financials are gonna work. If you've got a lot of United States assets, how those are going to be utilized by your child in another country, and if there will be sort of any tax consequences and or just transfer problems, transmitting assets here into another country. Okay, that is it. Once again, thank you so much for listening. I'm Christopher Small with CMS Law Firm. If you want to talk to me for free on the phone or in person, please go to estatemeeting.com and pick a time. You can see my whole calendar right there. Sometimes it's busy, sometimes it's not. Most times it's busy, but I can fit you in. Okay, estatemeeting.com. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.